Welcome to week 16. Hi again, and welcome to week 16, the week where your sweetest little one inside begins to put some weight on their tiny bones. That adorable little baby fat that you will soon feel the need to lovingly squeeze has begun to accumulate this week, enough that the veins on the baby's skin have become less visible. Weighing in at a little over 5 ounces with a length of just over 7 inches, your little one is growing more and more. Hairs on their body that have been titled lanugo is growing to keep that little baby toasty warm. The baby may seem tiny in size when speaking about length or weight of the baby's body itself. Or in relation to your growing belly, you may even seem that the baby has grown quite large recently, especially if your round bump has now popped out or has grown significantly in the last week or so. But inside that tiny body, incredible things are happening. Like baby is pumping out an amazing amount of blood through the heart every day at approximately 50 pints or just over 6 gallons. That's a substantial amount given their tiny size. So no wonder this sweet baby is growing and moving so much more each and every week. Speaking of moving, have you felt any interesting sensations that may make you feel like it was a kick? Well, it is technically too early to feel from a science perspective before this week. But if you feel or have felt some strange sensations, such as a bubble that seems to pop again and again in the same place, then that could be the tapping of your baby's sweet first kick. It is a feeling that is indescribable, yet at the same moment fills the mother's heart with great joy, as the mother just instinctively knows that that tiny new feeling is her sweet baby saying, "Hi, Mommy," for the first time. These movements are all possible because your baby's brain is consistently growing and is sending signals to the nervous system, the muscles, and now even the bowels. Yes, your sweet baby is beginning to make the first bowel movement after birth, which will be titled meconium. If you have not already, you may want to start putting some lotion or olive oil on your belly or your breasts, because both will start to grow now more and more. As your skin stretches to make room for the baby and the milk supply, your skin may feel itchy. That itchy feeling is your skin asking for nourishment during its growing process. I like to use a small amount of straight extra virgin olive oil mixed with a lightweight lotion. If you do not like the feeling, you can buy some disposable gloves or washable gloves to apply the combination with. Trust me, it will help, and you do not need to put on so much that you are sticky. A little goes a long way with this stuff. And a small amount of olive oil mixed into a pump of lotion will be the perfect amount to cover your itchy spots. So you can also buy some pregnancy skin products at the store, but they will contain the same ingredients of olive oil or a lotion. So if you want, you can easily save the money and make this combination yourself. Since your uterus now is the size of a small cantaloupe or small size watermelon, it will be of no surprise to you to know that it will be any day now when your sweet little baby bump will start to show. Since the uterus will start to expand more and more very soon, you may also start to feel your back beginning to ache also. The best way to alleviate this is by stretching and toning those back muscles, because yes, they will need to become stronger to support the baby that will soon start to grow in weight. So even if exercising seems miserable at this point and you just feel like you can't fit it in, remember, it's for your own benefit. You do not have to block off an entire half an hour. All you need is 5 or so minutes a few times a day. So look up some pregnancy stretches and fit them in while slowly increasing the number of reps, and your back muscles will thank you. Sleep is vitally important at this time, so please take a few moments to start pillow trials to help you have the best night's sleep you can. Having a pillow behind your legs or behind your back to fall asleep will and can make all the difference. If you are a belly sleeper, it's time to rethink positions and get used to different sleeping arrangements. Although it will only work for now, you can stack pillows on each side of your hips between you and the bed. Although it will only work for now, you can stack pillows on each side of your hips between you and the bed, which will help allow you a few more weeks of sleeping in your beloved belly position. But it is time to slowly transition to help baby have ample room. If you are a back sleeper, please be prepared to also find a new position, mainly one on one of your sides, because the weight of your belly at night pushing down on your back will set the stage for quite a painful experience upon getting up in the morning in the coming weeks. So experiment, spend some awake time in bed, trying out some new methods to get the most comfortable night's sleep. And although it may change in the coming weeks, at least you helped yourself for the time being while preparing for what is up next in your journey. This is a great week to start looking for a price for a crib or a co-sleeper or other baby accessories like a car seat. Remember though, the world would sell you school registration at this point, but try to think of only immediate essentials. You do not need to think of or stock up with a high chair or a toddler stroller. You probably will change your mind on what you want or need at that stage anyway. So stick to what will be essential for baby right now in the upcoming weeks, and your budget will thank you. Love is all you need now, and some diapers, wipes, clothes, and a car seat in order to get the baby home from the hospital or the birthing center. In time, everything you need, you will think of. So for now, just relax and help yourself by praying and meditating about what really matters in this whole process. The life that God has gifted you. A child truly is a wonderful gift that will help you grow into the person God has envisioned for you in order to live with Him forever in His kingdom. Why are children of means which help to perfect their parents' soul? Well, I believe it's because that's how God designed the wonderful process to occur. Our little tiny growing baby will learn from the mother and the father more than any other person. They will embody their attributes, personality quirks, mannerisms, and yes, your flaws. Oh, and if you don't believe you have any flaws, guess what? In a few short years, you will say to yourself, where did my child learn that? With careful analysis, you may be looking back at yourself because, yes, it is true that little baby growing inside will showcase it to you, each of your own things that we have despised in ourselves. So now is actually the time to ponder and meditate about those things, both positive and negative, that have made you, you. There are more than likely many things about yourself that you wish to toss away and shed as you slowly become the mother that God envisions for you. This is not an immediate process, and it is not meant to be done overnight. All that is asked is that you start somewhere, along with your husband, who has the same duty here, and together you can help each other gently to eradicate those behaviors before your child needs them eradicated in themselves. Be gentle though. Remember, God gave us our entire lives to perfect ourselves and put on our saintly crown at the end of our lives. But now is always the best time to start. Maybe you have really thought about this concept and you still cannot come up with any ideas. It can be very powerful. It can be a very powerful endeavor to speak with your trusted husband to see if he sees anything that he feels needs to change, and you could do the same for him. When building a deeply trustful relationship, we must not be afraid to let our guard down and become vulnerable. Vulnerability and embarrassment many times are horrifying concepts, and yet growth does not come to those who are always tiptoeing around spiritually. Being real and vulnerable is what marriage is designed to do as we work together to help each other become better human beings for our spouse and for our children. May we begin the process this week, if we have not already done so, to prepare for deep marriage participation that God has designed. I will leave you with a few quotes on perfecting ourselves through our lives of marriage. May they lead you to become closer to who God wishes you to become. Blessed Karl of Austria, in speaking to his wife, servant of God, Zita of Austria, the day after their wedding, said, "Now we must help each other get to heaven." St. John Chrysostom said, "Let your prayers be common, for indeed a house is a little church." This is possible for us by becoming good husbands and wives to surpass all others. St. Jose Maria Escrivá stated, "Marriage is to help people sanctify themselves and others. For this reason, they receive a special grace in the sacrament which Jesus Christ instituted. Those who are called to the married state will, with the grace of God, find within their state everything they need to be holy." And finally, St. Therese of Lisieux prayed, "Jesus, help me to simplify my life by learning what you want me to be and becoming that person." Children will lead us to the greatest person that we can become for our spouse and God, if only we will let them. So let your child, still in utero, jumpstart that process as you and your husband prepare for their birth. See you next week.